Hello, everyone. What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. I am your host, the Silverback Senpai, and we have our co-host, Waluigi.
Good morning, everybody. Great to be here again. Been a couple weeks, a week longer, but looking forward for the fun.
Alrighty, and our guest, Vivichibi Cosplay.
Good morning. So glad to be on.
Alrighty, this episode of the podcast is available on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and Spotify. Video playback is being currently streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And yeah, all of our social medias are in the bottom left corner. So if you want to check us out and give us a follow, greatly appreciate it. And this episode of the podcast has been brought to you by Flynn's Arcade.
Game on.
I need to find like a good slogan for them whenever I'm doing a shout out and whatnot. But you know what? We're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it tonight. I mean, not morning.
Game over. Not yet.
All right. To recap off of last episode, which was episode 11, we had S15 Costuming as our guest, and my goodness, that was just
The funniest thing we've probably done in a while.
yeah, chaotic.
My ribs were still laughing at this.
I don't know if I can live up to that.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Everybody is different when it comes to what when it comes to coming to the podcast and just having a discussion. Because me and Waluigi, we never know where it's gonna go.
No.
We
not
don't know
one
where it's
bit.
gonna go, so we just be like, you know what? We're here to have a conversation. We're here to have fun, and we're gonna see where it goes, where this can go. So, anyway, Vivian, thank you for joining us today on this episode.
Yeah,
How you been
definitely.
doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. So, like all of our guests, we always ask them their origin story.
Oh my gosh.
When it comes to gaming, what is your origin story? Like, what did you start off playing with? Your first console, so on and so forth.
You know what? I really think it was Game Boy Color, and I think it was
Hey.
Pokemon Blue. I really want to
that's what's
say
up.
that was
That's
my
what's up.
first game. And probably as for first console, probably N64.
Nice.
Nice. Same here. I mean, N64 was my first own console, but gaming-wise, I started off with Nintendo.
I started off with Game Boy Color as well.
Yeah. I think Pokemon got a lot of people into gaming, at least if you're born around, that time period, 90s, whatever.
Who was your starter?
Squirtle.
Uh,
Really?
I was Bulbasaur.
Oh.
Charmander.
Okay, well, we got all three here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We lit.
Well-balanced team.
Yes. All right. So, other than that, are you currently playing any other games, new consoles?
I'm interested in the PS5, but probably not right at launch. I think I want to give it some time before I get it, just to
avoid
give some time to...
avoid the chaos that we're currently experiencing.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I was gonna say that usually the first line of consoles, like the first wave when you first get them and whatnot, they typically have some problems. So when there's like another version of it, then it runs a little bit better than the very first. Because I had that problem with my PS4. The very first one that I got ran okay for a good couple of years, and all of a sudden the power supply unit inside of it just started to fail on me. So I had to replace that. I didn't like that. So
Oh,
it was
dear.
like, well, at least I didn't get red ring or yellow light like
Touche.
Xbox 360 or
Touche.
But
Touche.
the fact that usually the first the first line of consoles before they have like another iteration, typically has issues, and I have a feeling that the same will probably happen with the PlayStation 5. Even though I'm still gonna get it because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, exactly. That's just kind of how I think about it. There's like always issues, or a lot of times there are issues with the first iteration. So like, unless there's something super amazing that it's like I have to have this to play it, then I'm probably gonna wait.
I agree with you.
I gotcha. So, what are your favorite gaming genres?
RPG for sure, and y'all are gonna laugh, but other than that, like for casual stuff like farming, sim stuff like Harvest Moon,
I love
stuff like
Harvest
that.
Moon.
Yeah,
I used to play it on the GameCube with my cousins.
Yeah.
I
That was
never
one of
got
my
into that
first.
game.
It's one of my first games on N64 actually, and
I need to find one.
I got the newest one on Switch recently. I haven't had a whole lot
Oh,
of
they have
time to
Harvest
play
Moon
it.
on Switch?
Yeah, it's the Friends of Mineral Town remake.
I gotta get it.
Yeah.
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
What is
It's
Harvest
actually pretty
Moon?
fun.
I'm curious because I'm more of an action guy.
It's
Yeah, I'm gonna
like,
explain this, and you're gonna be like, "What? What's the appeal?"
It's
Probably.
like it's like the first farming simulator that came out before Farming Simulator,
Really?
in a way. But she'll
but
probably
like
explain
anime
better.
kind of.
Yeah,
It's I don't know how. Like, I don't know how to explain
You
it
see,
without it
you do-
sounding boring. I know that's bad.
I mean, it does sound boring in a nutshell unless you're really into it. Like, you want to build your farm, help your family grow. You have to reproduce cows and such. And it gets to a point where you're actually doing chores, like Animal Crossing, but a little bit better,
Yeah.
but more natural.
You know, and everybody was like, you got to play Animal Crossing. You got to get it, got to get it. If you like Harvest Moon, you'll like it. And I'm like, I got it. And I'm like, I don't understand the appeal. I think Harvest Moon has more structure, and that's why I like it.
It's
Animal
true.
Crossing is just like, do whatever.
Yeah, you just get bored of it easily if you don't know what to do or what you can't really afford what to do.
Yeah, I know.
I never could get into Animal Crossing, and I think I'm in the same boat with you. Like,
And people get so mad when they say you
I
don't like it or
I
aren't
don't feel
interested in it.
I briefly got into it to understand a trend as well.
Yeah, I tried. I really
It's
did.
a lot of nonsense in my opinion. Now they have swimming as a feature, and I don't know what you have to do with swimming, and you have to get scuba gear.
Like, I'm just looking at the game, and I'm just like, okay, so what do you do? Like, what's the objective? You just create an island, you just get materials,
Yeah.
you invite people over.
The whole goal is to get what's his name, KK Slider, to get a celebrity to play in your island, and then you can just build whatever the heck you want. I've seen people make Pokemon style themes, like the black and white versions.
You just have to be really creative and patient, I think.
Then people actually
have a
commit time to
vision.
make costumes,
Yeah, no, I know.
like Demon Slayer ones.
Oh my god, yeah, when I started playing, the little bit of time that I played, my friend gifted me a Kakyoin outfit. And I was like, well, this makes this maybe slightly less boring, I guess, but
Still boring. But yeah, Harvest Moon is more like a very chill set. Like, you know what to do. You just have to do some daily chores and some stuff you wouldn't really get used to. Well, like Animal Crossing, but more of a adaptive way. Like, you used to start taking care of the eggs, you start making breakfast, you start naming your creatures, like your cows. I remember naming my cow Oscar from that movie Shark Tale.
oh my god. And then there was what was the other one that was like Harvest Moon that was on console? I can't think of the name of it.
Farming Simulator?
No, not Farming Simulator. It was the Stardew Valley.
Oh!
Stardew Valley. I was really into
I've
that
heard
one
of
for
it.
a while too. That's like Harvest Moon.
I've heard of
Yeah,
I've heard of
that's
Stardew
good.
Valley.
What is Stardew Valley?
It's another farming.
It's like
Another-
Harvest Moon, but like made in the United States. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
There's like the yeah.
Is it good?
2D animation.
Yeah,
I've heard
it's
good things
honestly
about
it's
it.
a lot of fun.
Is
And
it-
that one does have like a dungeon crawling kind of aspect to it as well, unlike
Okay.
Harvest Moon.
Yeah, someone sent me a picture of, like, from Snapchat of Stardew Valley, and they collected everything. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, I don't understand.
Interesting. Would never have thought like games like that would attract and appeal so many different kinds of people and whatnot. Usually for someone like for my caliber, and I'm just like, what the heck is this?
I watched a man play Farming Simulator, and it felt so weird. Like, he had a country accent and everything.
Oh, that's
So-
cute.
It was. It was really weird.
So Vivian, you mentioned earlier that RPGs are your favorite
Yeah.
genres of games. What are your favorite RPGs like from any console era? Like
I mean-
your top three,
Or even JRPGs.
or even
Yeah.
even JRPGs.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah, JRPGs. Definitely Final Fantasy VII
Hey,
is my
okay.
big one. I'm so sad I haven't gotten to play the remake yet. I know that's terrible. I bought the collector's edition, and I'm like, wow, I'm just never gonna have time to sit down and play this. But I did watch a little bit of
Ouch.
the gameplay, so. I'm trying to think. Besides that, The Witcher. Honestly, the
Yeah.
entire The Witcher franchise.
That is the one game where I think I
I
put it in
spent-
a post where I said that like games that I find like kind of overrated, and I said Witcher,
Really? Yeah.
Witcher 3,
Yeah, and
I
I
was
did
like-
comment on that, I think.
and I
It's
was
so
like,
funny.
well, for me it was just like the combat. I could
Oh,
not
really?
understand. Yeah, I couldn't understand it. I was like,
Yeah, I never got a chance to play it.
Yeah.
I've only played
and
Geralt
not,
in
but I've heard so
Soul
many
Calibur
good
5.
things about it, so it was just like, well, eventually I will revisit this and try to complete it, and then because I guess I was maybe 3 to 5 hours in compared to people who've been playing it for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours. So maybe because I'm starting off new, I don't understand it because I had that same approach when I played Ghost of Tsushima. I did not understand the combat at all. It just felt weird. And then as I kept playing it, I was like, okay, now this game's good. Now I understand. So,
Yeah, I was watching your gameplay.
yeah, like if you've watched my stream, like playing it earlier, I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm running around and whatnot.
And then
You know,
I watched it when you got a
cheat
plan, when you started planning stuff and using your bow and arrow more.
Yeah, but yeah, Witcher 3, like, I've heard good things about it.
Not
but
your
it's
thing?
just time.
Yeah.
Put time into it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Netflix series as well.
I've never watched it. I think I'm
It's
in the
different.
Same, I'm in the
really
same boat
is.
as you, just time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but honestly, The Witcher was the last thing I got super into. I played Wild Hunt, had no idea what was going on, because like most people, that game was so huge, it was most people's like intro into the Witcher franchise. And if you're
Right.
playing 3, it's like, it kind of explains, but then kind of doesn't, because it's like really complicated. So then I went back and played 1 and 2, which are like, obviously pretty old. And 1 is only on PC.
Never knew.
So it's definitely dated, but honestly, it was a lot of fun, and it definitely gives you a better idea of the story as well. So, like, one of the next things I'm looking forward to from that same publisher is Cyberpunk, when that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that as well.
Yeah.
You getting it for PS4 or PS5 or Xbox?
Whatever just
Yeah.
opens up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the disaster of the PlayStation 5 pre-orders was just... If you haven't watched my Instagram stories during that time, like, my goodness, I was literally losing it.
I was
because-
laughing so hard. I walk into a GameStop. Hey, is there any pre-order for PS5? No.
Like, get the
Walk
hell out.
away. I went to the gym just to settle off my anger.
That's wild.
Like, and of course, Sony, they apologize for their disorganization of the pre-orders. I'm like, yeah, y'all should apologize because I couldn't get it. Like, I'm literally at the place order, put the payment information, shipping information,
That's-
everything. Just give it to me. And so that way, and I'm just waiting for my phone to get a notification saying that, oh, your transaction has been processed from my bank accounts or whatnot. And I'm just like, let me just hurry up and secure it.
That's crazy. They
And-
can't meet demand.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. But it was like, but it's expected, but it's just,
Yeah.
How fast it was.
yeah, like literally.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess I just don't remember their last console launch. Was PS4 like that?
no, but I did.
don't
But I
remember.
do remember that it was hard for people to get one because
Mm-hmm.
it was unavailable when it first released.
Right.
So people had to wait till January to finally get a PlayStation 4
Yeah.
because it sold out so quick. And since it
Definitely.
was cheaper than the Xbox One, yeah, it's typically going to sell out quick, which I have a feeling with the Xbox Series S and the PS4 digital version, the Xbox Series X is going to end up selling a lot more because it's cheaper. People are going to go with the cheaper option. But if they go with the PlayStation Digital, you're getting the same performance on both consoles. It's just
Yeah.
at different prices. Versus on the Xbox, it's different.
Yeah, you're also just going to have like a storage issue.
Yeah. Yeah, and which is why I told people that, listen, if you're going to buy any of these new consoles, especially the digital version, I highly recommend you go out and buy the SSD internal and external hard drives because come November, they will sell out quick.
I say get to Seagate's at least because I have a 2 terabyte. Not sure if it's SSD or not, but it's lasted me well for my Xbox One. I have like 1.2 terabytes left, within that little game box.
Nice.
That's a good point.
Oh man, games.
Game
look,
on.
look how
Starts being work.
Yeah,
Not
literally,
fun.
it literally starts being work. It's just like now you got to calculate what you're going, how much you're going to spend, and how much time you're going to put into it. And it's always stressful when a new console releases because now it's just getting one, and now you got to get the stuff for it.
Gerald, I just remembered something.
What's up?
You remember when Cooking Mama had like a terrible trend on the Switch?
Wait. Is that the thing where it was like a money laundering scheme?
Yes,
I heard about that.
This just when you said the
And
word
it was
that.
heating up the console or Switch? What was
because the
it?
game came out too early and it was going at very slow rates, so people couldn't really do the task properly. And it was like cryptocurrency revolved. Like
Right.
I just remember that from work. I'm
Bitcoin
like-
mining. It was a Bitcoin mining thing.
Yes.
Software installed or something. I remember that.
Now if we can make money off of gaming, I'd be more impressed. Like actual gaming.
I can't remember. It's like some of the developers or something went to jail or something. Something happened.
Yeah,
I remember it
that
was
just
weird.
crossed my mind thinking about that.
Yeah, that was the strangest thing ever. Because people were saying their console was like overheating, and they found out that was why.
Yeah,
I'm
the
like,
Switch
oh,
was like hot
okay.
enough to cook an egg on it. Yeah, we can make money for like maybe $1 for every 20 hours you play, or like $2. You know how much commitment that would be?
A lot.
Oh, and that's such a obscure, like weird game to
It
put
was.
it on. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Little flashback. My apologies. Back to topics. Back to-
Well, with the new console generation coming out, everyone's excited because hey, it's something new. I'm gonna get to play new games, have a new experience, and I'm just wondering about the games and then of course the business practices of these games because we can admit that this generation has been nothing but a lot of microtransactions. There was the loot box scandal, which now they
yeah.
started to get away from it because it started to be a little bit more towards gambling, pay to win models, and
Overwatch is still on it. They have like a special offer for like maybe 3 boxes $199, 5 boxes is like $5.99, and 20 boxes is like maybe $15.99.
I gave up on Overwatch.
I just got back into it. People were talking me into getting it. Specifically
Vivian,
for
you've ever
competitive.
played Overwatch? Or
I haven't. My husband was super into it though, so I've watched enough of it to know of it.
Is it toxic?
It's toxic. It's really toxic.
I don't know. Maybe
Depending
he
on who you
wasn't
play.
big enough into it to know whether it's toxic or not, but maybe it became toxic by the time he stopped playing it. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, the game updates itself so many times. It's not like Modern Warfare where it expands ridiculously.
Right.
It's just that they'll nerf buff or anything else around that range, or change a whole character completely.
And then you'll have someone on the microphone yelling and screaming at you because you don't know how to play a character, very well. It's just like, bro, I'm just
My back hurts from all this carrying.
I'm just playing the game. I'm just learning it, and you're screaming and yelling at me because I don't know how to play a certain character properly.
Dude, I got invited to a game of playing with grandmasters. I used to be like close to that level. After like a year,
Jeez.
maybe 2 years, I stopped playing, and then I got yelled. I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just playing the game." I'm like innocent, just like rolling with it. I'm like, "Okay, I need sleep. This is 2 a.m."
What about you, Vivian? What's your online gaming experiences? Do you have any? that
I
you'd like to
honestly
share?
don't because of the.
You're lucky.
I know. I
You're very
guess.
fortunate.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if I've definitely never played anything on like voice with a voice channel or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm not even getting into that because like I know how that goes.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
women on the internet. So it's like just no. But no.
I just thought about that.
That's all I can say. No. Definitely not.
Good.
That's like one of the reasons I don't, but also it's just not my thing. I do
Gotcha.
mostly single player type stuff.
Gotcha. That way you don't have to deal with the toxicity of dealing with people online and listening to them. Their
I get
mic is
enough.
on.
Yeah, I get enough of that already. So it's like, don't need any more toxicity online, especially not via voice.
Oh yeah, definitely because It's something when you know you hear a kid just screaming and yelling at you and just calling you all kinds of names and whatnot, and you're just like, I don't know if I should just mute this person or just get on the microphone myself and curse them out. But it really depends on my mood of the day, because usually if I feel like, you know what, I'm cursing them out, I'll put on my mic and I'm cursing them out, and I've said some horrible things, man. Some really horrible
Me too.
things.
My mom would yell at me every time I cursed out.
I try not to do it when I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna say whatever I want. But that was when I was younger. When I was younger, I was real reckless with my mouth.
I'm still young. Love you, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
But it's good, Vivian, that you did not have to experience none of that.
Yes. Bless your soul.
Bless you, because though it would be entertaining, and of course you'll have stories for days, but
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think when people figure out that you're like a woman, it either goes like one of two ways. They're either extra horrible or they're like, oh, you're a girl? Like,
Yeah.
kind of that
They're
kind of
gonna-
weird reaction.
I've seen those.
Me
moments
too.
happen. And I'm just like, oh god, I'm just gonna hear the cringe, and I always laugh and then turn on my microphone. The guy gets turned down, and now you have the whole lobby just laughing at him, and the guy leaves.
The whole squad. Roast him.
And like, people are so weird. I've watched Chase play things online where it's like he plays as a female character and people are like, are you a girl? It's like,
No. That hasn't happened to me yet.
That's happened like twice to me. And after I turn on the mic, I'm like, no.
I gotta try that.
maybe
see,
not like
anyone-
Overwatch, but stuff with like character creation screens
Right.
where if you like want to play as like the female of that race, and it's like, people are weird.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
very weird.
I was gonna ask if it got Cash App and see how far it goes at this point. It's like, oh yeah, Cash App Waluigi.
it's worth a try.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god.
So, do you have any horrible games? Games that you've played throughout your years?
Board games, anything.
Like games that are just like, it's bad. Like, I hate this game. Any that you can think of.
Even
It's
Uno.
not something I've thought of a lot. Like, I guess I do enough research on the things before I buy them. I know whether I'm going to
Smart.
hate it or not.
Gotcha.
I mean, do you guys have any? I want to hear some examples.
You go first.
Oh, I go first?
You go first.
Okay. All right, horrible games. We're going to start off with Final Fantasy 15. That was horrible.
Oh, okay.
Second game, Kingdom Hearts 3.
I didn't play that one.
Huge disappointment. And lastly, what's another horrible game of this generation? Like, completely just bad.
I'm thinking now too. Actually,
I'm thinking. That, and okay, I'm stumped. Those are the only two that stuck out to me. Just Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe I'll let you go, and then maybe my brain will find another one.
let's see. Fighting game. The worst one experience I had was My Hero Academia.
Oof.
Honestly, I chose that over Red Dead Redemption. That was my biggest mistake.
Oh yeah, that is a huge mistake.
Yeah, my ex kind of convinced me to get it before Red Dead, and I realized I should have just got Red Dead and rolled with it.
Oh yeah.
Anime games are kind of like a huge hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's very generic from what I'm noticing nowadays, because they have the same animation, same fighting styles, but just different settings.
The only one that actually got it right, well, two that actually got it right, was Dragon Ball Fighter Z
Agreed.
and
Yeah.
the Naruto Storm series.
That is true.
Oh, really?
They got it right.
Yeah, because they recreated the scenes pretty almost accurately,
Yeah.
and then they have the interactions as well, sort of like when God of War did. Let's see, another game that's pretty bad. There's a recent one I played called Hyperscape. It's basically another generic battle royale.
Okay, I don't
That's
know
supposed
that
to
at
look like a
all.
cyberpunk setting.
Huh.
It's very linear with its movements. You can double jump, you can have power-ups, you can upgrade your weapons if you see another weapon. But it just feels so clunky. Very slow. I tried to play a few games. I got like maybe 4 or 6, but it just feels so linear.
About 15. I think that's a pretty good choice for that. Because I started playing it and like I waited like so long for that game to come out because
Same
you know
here.
how long it was delayed, like over and over and over again,
And
like
it was
over a
supposed
matter
to
of
be
years.
Final Fantasy versus 13 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that just made me start thinking about 13 as well. But yeah.
Oh my god, I got another game. Among Us.
Really? The one that recently just came out?
Oh my god, it's a nightmare to
What everyone's talking
play.
about? Really?
It's a nightmare. It's free to play on mobile. So that's how I started.
Oh.
So I'm playing with someone and I'm talking about like, oh yeah, my grandma like mentioned you and all this, and then like I just get consumed without no one. Like my friend just hid her name completely. I was so pissed because like anyone could be the imposter or the killer, and with all these silly names, nobody will know what they're doing.
Interesting. I know very little about that one.
The names are very like. You can change it to almost anything, even slightly explicit as you want to.
Oh, Steven in the chat
Oh, dear.
saying, yeah, S50 costuming. He disagrees with me on Final Fantasy 15 because that game got him into Final Fantasy as a series.
Oh,
mean,
well, that's good then.
It's a good
Yeah.
starter.
that means it's a good game.
It's just our
For
opinions,
him.
anyways. But
It's just the reason why I considered it a very disappointing game because when you're playing through the entire game and then you get to the ending and I'm just like, that's it. And then later on, there's a DLC with all the other individual characters, and I'm just like, why wasn't this in the full game?
When they took that long to make it, too.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm
it
just
was
like,
dramatically long.
And then Square Enix did the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3, where here's the game, ending's like, what the hell? And all of a sudden, oh, we have DLC. That expands on the story. And I'm just
yikes.
like, yeah, I'm not supporting this. And that was the reason why I didn't buy Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I know that one, they're not going to give you the whole story, which they did not.
Well, we knew that for a long time, that it's
Yeah.
going to be broken into parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Kind of makes sense, because if they did that in one game and condensed that much, I don't think people would have been happy.
right.
I just supported it for that Tom Holland and Hannibal Buress commercial where you just see Tom Holland
Wait,
just training.
What? I don't know
That
that.
Final Fantasy commercial, that Prince of Darkness was it called, I believe, or the Tale of Darkness. Is that the new Final Fantasy with I forgot the main
I don't know
protagonist's name.
that.
No, I'm not following you on that one.
I forgot the main protagonist's name for Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, Noctis.
And Steven says
Noctis?
Waluigi seems pretty suspect.
Wow!
What?
You brought the Among Us reference. Oh my god! Yeah, there was a DLC that just showed Tom Holland training for it and lifting up Hannibal Buress on the sofa, just working out for it.
Yeah, I don't know of this. Sounds interesting.
It is. I'll show you it later.
I know what was funny was like, what candy was it? Butterfinger or something was doing like buy 3 Butterfingers and redeem the codes for a Final Fantasy VII accessory, in-game accessory. And I was like, well, that's weird.
That
Yeah.
is. It's like Overwatch with Pringles. Pretty sus. I'm salty over right now.
And Steven also says, plus when Square Enix just decided to cancel the last DLCs,
Oh.
it seems familiar.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that they did that. But yeah, that was a thing. And I think everybody's expectations were just so high for that game.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what they could have done that, but I think the thing they definitely shouldn't have done, which is a bad business model, is not giving the complete story.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see DLCs being like something completely extra or a side thing, but like, that's not good.
Yeah, it's just not. And I'm just like, for me, I just want a complete, full experience. So that way, to me, I feel like my purchase was warranted for it.
Yeah.
And then, like, if there's anything extra that comes along with it that
Yeah.
expands the story, then cool. At least I have more to play with. Like, back in 2018, there's the Marvel Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. You have the whole complete story from start to finish, and
Right.
then you had DLCs
That's
that
extra.
that gave you a little bit extra of the story. Though there were rumors saying that these were stories and side missions that got cut from the main game, but the main game gave you enough time to know where you start, where you finish, and to feel like, you know what, this was well worth it. I just don't like it where you play so long of this game and all of a sudden you finally get to the end, you finally get to the climax, and it becomes a letdown. And now
Yeah.
here's the DLC
Okay.
that's going to give you the climax that you want. And
That's
it's like, what?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't like that.
All right, I found the commercial is for Shadowbringers, that DLC.
For Final Fantasy 14.
Oh shoot, I'm looking at yeah. I got the wrong DLC, but I just remember this commercial specifically. I don't know if you ever seen.
I can already tell this is cringe. Oh,
I just remember this one so vaguely.
warrior training.
It's like, yeah, he's just training for his Final Fantasy DLC.
Oh.
Yeah, I read a wrong Roman numeral.
Okay, well, that's really dumb. Okay.
Yeah, I just remember just how bad the commercials were.
And like the other thing with 15, and I know that like this is probably something that the industry is moving towards, is like the product placement. Like, because everybody was saying it was like Cup Noodle 15. And then the Coleman camping stuff. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I wish I just didn't care, but it's like, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's still really weird to me.
Yeah, I remember this
Yeah,
cosplayer
definitely.
actually committed time to making like a big ramen noodle cup
Yeah.
for a contest in Texas. I think his name was like Sledgehammer Costumer Creative. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Your mic.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you gotta bring it a little bit closer to you.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sledgehammer Creative. Man
That's funny.
made like a like a big thing of noodles. Presented up with so much hype. He was Gladius, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I barely know the characters, so I hope I got it right.
I think that's right.
Yay.
It's been a while since I played it at all.
Alright, well, let's move on to our next topic. I also want to touch up on Vivian's experience as a cosplayer, which I know you can elaborate a lot more on. So,
Yeah.
tell us, what got
What-
you into cosplay?
Okay. I was like, what is my prompt going to be? Okay. It's like, that's a very broad topic.
Like, it was
I've
your
been doing
origin.
this on and off for a very long time. Probably since I was like 12 or something like that. But I don't know if anybody remembers like New Type magazine. I think it was New Type US.
Never heard of them.
Not familiar.
Really?
No.
It's like a big anime magazine in Japan, but they brought it over like around that time period when I was a kid. And it was just like a thing that showed like all the new anime coming out. It has like a pull-out poster every month, all this.
Okay,
And
that's cool.
Yeah, in the back there was always a feature of like a cosplayer that had made something, and they were talking about like what they spent on it, like where they got the stuff for it. And it's like back then it was like kind of a big deal because there's not like so many selection of fabric stores and cosplay materials and places to get them. So it was kind of a big deal, at least to me as a kid. I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. So I guess seeing that was my first exposure to cosplay at all,
Right.
and something that really made me want to get into it. So at that point, it was me like begging my mom to take me to Hobby Lobby and stuff
Aw.
like that to make things. So yeah.
Have you ever bought a cosplay, or did you just completely start off just making all your cosplays handmade? Because usually
Okay.
with cosplayers, they usually buy their first couple of few cosplays and then they get into making it themselves.
I mean, it's funny you say that because like back then there were no like store-bought cosplays.
Yeah, that's true. there's just Halloween, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first thing that I cosplayed was Lena Inverse, and it was definitely handmade, and it was terrible. My mom, I didn't have a sewing machine. My mom taught me how to hand sew.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So, and like, you know, parts were purchased. It was mostly a t-shirt that I embellished, but I made the cape and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was definitely a good first experience, and it was really exciting for me.
Were there any cosplays that you messed up on? Like, what is your?
It was
average-
so messed up. Like, there's been so many that were so messed up. It depends on what you mean by messed up. Like, messed up enough that I abandoned it, or
messed up to the point where it's just you're almost done, and then you just make like
Rage it.
you messed up on one good part, and then you're like, I'm scrapping it.
wow.
It's like this is going into the
No,
going to
usually
a
I'm just
bonfire.
like, at that point, if it's almost done, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to pretend like this was supposed to be this way.
Like it never happened.
Yeah, it's like this is definitely a feature and not a bug at this point. Because it depends, I guess, on what stage I'm into something, but generally I won't abandon it like that unless it's just something I don't really want to work on. And then that's my excuse to get out of it.
Definitely seeing your stories on what you're working on and what you go to decide. I'm like, that is super dope, and the commitment is unreal.
Aw.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I kind of see why you typically don't game as much because you're so busy just working on another cosplay.
Yeah.
And then it's just from one to another, and it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. It's like you're almost a modern day Iron Man, where you're just making another suit.
That's
another
cute.
Suit, and another
That's
suit.
cute. That's really cute. But yeah, I've definitely found that I can't do both, and I hate it. If I really wanted to get into a game, it would definitely involve me taking a break for a while. And I'll do it when I feel like doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
I have to
that's-
be in a mood to not be making something, which I know that's weird.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like a good outlet for me. Yeah, I work full time and go to school part time, so on top of all this, so
Yeah.
gaming too is like it's not gonna happen
It's just an add-on.
until I really feel the need to.
Gotcha. Well, that's understandable. What are some of your worst cosplays you've ever done? Worst
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Something that you're
definitely
not
my
proud of?
old cosplays, like from a very long time ago.
Okay.
I mean, Lena Inverse was very bad. Things I don't even have pictures of, and I'm really glad that I don't have pictures of. They probably exist somewhere in my mom's like drawer somewhere, and I'm not going to actively go look for them.
You're like, no.
We're just gonna stay there.
Let it just stay.
Yeah,
forgotten.
exactly. And I think I had a dancer Yuna costume that I made. It was like my second project
Dancer, you
from
know.
Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay.
10-2. Yeah, 10-2. That was bad too.
Two, literally.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what else?
see.
Because I know I had a question in my mind.
What's your first prop you've actually made, like a weapon prop?
Oh my god. See, that's hard to say.
Because we talk about your costuming,
I'm
but
trying
like,
to
what about
think.
your prop building?
Honestly, that's something I really suck at and I'm trying to get better at.
I'm on the same boat with you.
Yeah. I can sew, but like, oh my god. I just worked with Warbler like for the first time like last year.
Warbler is scary stuff, and I know that feeling well.
No, yeah, it is. EVA foam and Warbler. I'm just like, it's completely different for me as a media compared to fabric. So I'm trying to think. I mean, my Tanjiro sword that I made last year was mostly like a Halloween prop that I embellished with Warbler and stuff, so I don't know if that counts. But the first
I'll
thing
count
that
it.
I actually built myself was that Asta sword.
Oh yeah.
And I
that looks
mean,
super-
I'm not
I've seen
completely
that one.
happy with it, but like, it was a good starter project because
I mean, it
it's
sold the
mostly
Yeah.
it's mostly one dimensional. So I was like, I could probably actually pull this off.
Yeah.
It's just kind of flat and doesn't have a lot of bevel or like dimension. So, yeah. Like I said, I wasn't completely happy with it, but I really wanted to make everything from scratch for that project because it was for the Mizukon competition, and that didn't happen. And yeah,
That was unfortunate.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
we did see you compete for the Crunchyroll
Yes.
cosplay contest. What was that about? What was that like?
Terrifying, honestly.
I figured.
I submitted that portfolio thinking, wow, this is like never going to happen. This is so much work for something that's probably never going to happen. And then, so yeah, the portfolio process, it was like a 5-page document with progress photos. The cosplay didn't have to be finished, even though mine was for the most part. And a pitch for a performance recording that they wanted you to submit if you were selected. And I'm trying to think what else. Reference photos. Yeah, basically a 5-page document. And I'm like, wow, this is like writing a book report or something. Like, this is too much like homework. Honestly, way too much like homework. And then it was like list out your previous prizes. What category are you entering as? You know, beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever. Post links to your previous work. Just on and on and on. The stuff that they were asking for, and I'm like, this is serious.
I thought it was something simple as, okay, here's a photo
No.
of you.
Hi, I'm Waluigi. This is my cosplay. Hopefully I win.
They took it so seriously, which is part of why I was interested in entering, because there's so many of these virtual cons right now, which I think it's great that they're doing things like this to fill the void for people that are, you know, since we don't have cons and stuff like that, it gives people the opportunity to still be making things and still compete. But it's not always run the best. It's kind of like, yeah, just send us pictures or a picture of you like doing a 360 and we'll judge based on that. Which I feel like it's not always, I don't know, the fairest. I don't know, something like that.
Right.
Seems like it'd be pretty hard to judge based on just that. But like this was run so well. It was just something that I really wanted to try for. And I think I waited like a month between when I submitted and when I actually heard back, and I was like, I had the date marked on my calendar for when I was supposed to find out when they were going to notify people. And like I got that email that day, and I was just pretty much just screaming because I was like, I honestly can't believe it. It was.
Yeah, and then when you posted it on Instagram, I was like, yo!
No,
I was
here's the
screaming.
thing.
I was screaming,
I had to
actually.
shut up about it because like I had to submit a non-disclosure agreement like immediately. Because they didn't want anybody to tell until they made the announcement. Which I was like, I had read that term, the terms and conditions when I submitted my application, and I'm like, wow, are they serious about that? Because I don't know if I'd be able to shut up. But like in the end I was able to, and it ended up only being a few days from when I found out to when I could talk about it. But
Oh, so that's not bad.
yeah. Yeah, but it's hard like when you're that excited. So
And after that, I'm just going to the Crunchyroll website. Then I see your photo. I was like,
no, yeah, it's crazy.
I saw that.
It's so crazy. But yeah. And then other than that, just there was a period where I was like watching everybody else trying to finish their stuff, and I'm like, am I doing enough? I don't know if I'm doing enough. Because like other people didn't have their stuff done
Right.
because they had submitted their pitch like when it was still a work in progress. And I was like, should I be doing something else? That's how I ended up putting LEDs in the sword, just to be like, I'm doing something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was stressful is all I can say. Because then from then it was like another month just about from when they announced to the actual time we had to have everything submitted. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But like I said again, it was really stressful. And I say like it was good that they were so thorough with everything, but the thoroughness made it more stressful.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
blame
I'm
you
just
on that
like,
one.
I don't know if I want to do virtual cons again for a while because
I was about to ask about it. I'm like, after all that fun.
yeah, it was just so tiring. I'm like, I don't know if I want to compete again in anything until cons are back.
it's a lot of micromanagement, you would say, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, I can see why though.
Right.
It's hard to wrangle like 30 whatever people
Yeah.
and do an event like this, especially when it was something that hadn't been done before. So like,
Yeah.
I just appreciate like all the work and time that it went into trying to make it fair, trying to explain things to people. Probably after the 30th person has asked the same question a dozen times, like, you know.
So I can kind of see why it would get so stressful and, of course, exhausting and tedious. Yeah. Yeah. I would just stick to in-person cons and just compete.
Yeah.
Because it's just...
Yeah, it's like, see, I
less of
thought that was stressful.
Right.
But it's like you spend maybe 30 minutes in line waiting to be judged or whatever, and then maybe another 10 minutes in with the judges actually, you know, being judged.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you're done. So it's like maybe, and then maybe another 30 minutes standing in line waiting to go on stage. So at the end, maybe that's like an hour of stress or something like that. But like, this ended up being like a
Days.
month or longer of stress.
Oh my gosh.
So I was just like, I just want it to be done, kind of, sort of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I would have never known that or guessed that. I'm thinking, you know.
I'm surprised you didn't see me like freaking out on my stories and having a nervous breakdown and posting crazy shit. Just because
Yeah, I was watching. I was kind of worried.
Same here.
I'm like, what do I
my
say?
spiral into insanity.
I'm literally like,
yeah, and everybody's just like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like, I don't even want to explain it honestly because I don't even.
It's just too much.
yeah. With that kind of weight on your shoulders, I'd be like
And
freaking
then
out too.
seeing, everyone giving you praise and recognition for, being a part of something like this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they don't know on the back end, it's like,
I figured.
it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is just too much.
And then there's like my mom and like people in my life that are just like, that's cool, that's nice, honey. And I'm like, I don't think you understand.
yeah.
I'm just, I don't know.
It's just too much. Well, I mean, that is, something to, that's a good insight, knowing that the stuff and the levels of stress that you'll go under doing a virtual con, because, I'm going off of the premise of, just like a regular con, here's my cosplay, submitting it.
Slap on that spandex and you're good to go.
Yeah, and that's
It's
it.
diva time.
Yeah.
But I did not think it was going to be
That's next
that
level.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's next level.
It was crazy. And again, like, I want to say that it wasn't a bad experience.
Right.
Like, I know I'm like highlighting the bad things, but I feel like it's important that people know what it was like. But like also at the same time, like I said, it was like a once in a lifetime experience. It was just honestly an amazing honor just to be one of the 30-something finalists that were selected because
Yeah.
it was international,
Definitely huge
which
congrats
was
to
amazing. There were a couple international competitors that were super amazing. And yeah, just to be included with a group of people that were just so amazingly talented, it was a very big deal. So
Gotcha. All right. So tell us, what gaming characters have you cosplayed as? Because I know you cosplayed as I keep forgetting her name, but she's in Final Fantasy VII. The one with the big kunai.
I didn't
forgetting
really
Yufa?
cosplay her.
Yufa, right?
Yuffie.
Yuffie.
I didn't.
Oh my god.
I didn't really cosplay her.
Really?
You just did a whip, right? Or like a little.
It was a okay, it was for the Anime NYC.
Oh,
See,
yeah, I
there's like
saw
a
that.
whole nother thing for me to talk about
Right.
and brag about.
Okay. Let's hear it.
That was through the Anime NYC closet cosplay contest.
Yeah, I
That
followed
for a
that.
while, like at the start of the pandemic and stuff, they were trying to just get everybody to feel a little bit better and do whatever. And we're doing weekly closet cosplay, like themed closet cosplay contests. Like one week, I think it was Promare. I can't remember what some of the other ones were. One was just like shonen characters, and it had to be all stuff that you pulled out of your closet, like stuff that you didn't actually go buy.
Right.
And they said it could be a wig, but not a wig for that specific character.
Right.
Huh.
So, yeah, their theme for that week was Final Fantasy. So I was like trying to ask my friends, I'm like, based on the things that I have, what would work? And I'm asking my husband, I'm like, what, based on these things in my closet, who could help me think of somebody that I could make with this stuff? And so I pulled out enough stuff out of my closet, including like a gardening glove or something for her like gauntlet thing, and pretty much taped things together into a Yuffie cosplay.
Nice.
And we were like looking around, like, so what would really top this off? I need like a prop or something. And like Chase is like looking at the fan, and he's like, you know what? You should take this apart. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know what? That would make like a really good her giant kunai thing. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so genius. So like we took apart this, it's like a standing fan thing, and I have the giant fan blade thing.
I was trying to see if it was on your Instagram because I was curious.
I think it is. It's on there somewhere. And like, I don't
Up
think they
against-
archived it. It's just like way down. I think I left it up because honestly, I was so proud of that.
All the way down
I
the
didn't
rabbit
even
hole.
make it, but I was so proud of it.
Oh, there we go.
I was so proud of it. And I think the wig is like my Hanako-kun wig. And
Oh my god, this came out so good.
Yeah, like it.
so that's how my friend and I won tickets to Anime NYC. And that we were supposed to be going to in November, but they rolled over to next year. So yeah, we're going to find a way to make it up there for 2021 Anime NYC.
I want to go so bad. My buddies go as well.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so I guess that's technically somebody that I cosplayed from Final Fantasy.
Right.
I have a really, really old Vincent from Final Fantasy
Oh.
VII, but I don't even know if I have photos of that 'cause again, like I was a kid. But honestly, it wasn't terrible. I'll have to find that someday.
Yeah, so 2 Final Fantasy characters.
And of course, the Yuna, which I'm not even going to show.
Yeah, that'll remain deep within your memories for however long it is. The internet does not need to see.
Yes,
No, it does not.
exactly. Who else? Maybe there's not anybody recently. Trying to think. Probably not. I don't think there was anybody else. All of them were from Final Fantasy.
Gotcha.
I mean, if I was to do something someday, it would be some Witcher character, but again, I'd have to like improve with so many things, and like I don't know.
Time to references.
Yeah,
all that
exactly.
other
It's
stuff.
work.
More work. So out of all your cosplays, which one was the most work?
I was wondering this.
Which one took you the longest, the most tedious?
That you committed.
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit to your soul too.
Honestly, probably Asta. That was at least 2 months.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just, and the thing is, like, I wasn't even actively working on it for part of the time. Part of it, I was just being aggravated about making the wing and not wanting to do it. For a couple weeks there. I made the frame and then I was like, wow, I don't know. Because it's something I hadn't done before. So I was just like, I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to ruin it. I don't know if I even want to like make the next step because the next step is going to ruin it. But it ended up being okay. And I was proud of my one wing and my first wing that I made. So
Yeah, I was
don't know.
really impressed. How'd you actually have it stabilized?
It was a harness
Oh, okay.
with like 2 straps under the arms. And like just the actual wing was like a huge 9-gauge, I think, steel wire.
That's
So,
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were other things like wig spiking and stuff like that I didn't have a lot of experience with. And I definitely redid the wigs at least 3 times. So, yeah. Definitely a lot of first time things, like making something completely from EVA and Warbler that took a long time, but it's honestly like a cosplay I have a love-hate relationship with now.
Yeah.
Just because of all that. And
According to your IG stories, it is a love hate.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
But like I appreciate it just because the skills that I learned making that is something that I'll be able to carry on to other projects. So like, it's all good.
Yeah, with cosplay you can always improve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the future, are there any upcoming cosplays that you are currently working on, or you're just gonna just keep that on the hush hush and just surprise everybody?
And vibe.
No, it's been on my story. I always post about that. So like, I need to finish Inuyasha for one thing. So yeah, I still haven't made Hakama for that yet. I have the fabric. I just need to do it now. I'm doing Illumi from Hunter x Hunter. Tsukasa from Dr. Stone. And those are the 2 things that I'm doing. And I know everybody probably saw that I was doing Bukiarati, but I don't think I'm doing it anymore.
Bushiroad, with Bushiroad. Those zippers.
What
That
is
had me questioning the zippers.
Yeah,
How
I know,
do
it
you
was
just set it
horrible.
up? That is brutal.
Yeah, that was something that everybody's like, yeah, you need to do it. You need to do it, do it, do it, do it. And it's because somebody said I should do it, so I put it on my story, like, should I do it? And everybody's like, yeah.
I might
of
have been one of those
course,
people.
of course.
Yeah,
So-
like put you through the torture.
I am so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just like, I think I need to stick to doing things that I really want to do.
Yeah.
Is the
Gotcha.
problem. I don't know.
All in due time. All in due
Yeah,
time.
investing so much time into something, I have to be really passionate about it. So, I don't know. I'm just like at the point where I'm like, everything I do from now on is just going to be completely self-indulgent. Like, I don't care if anybody cares about it.
I felt
like,
that,
this is what
yeah.
I want to do, so I'm doing it.
Gotcha.
I definitely felt that.
that I can respect.
I feel like I've got to find the balance between things that people actually care about and things that I care about. And oftentimes I can't say there's not a lot of overlap, but sometimes there's not a lot of overlap.
Understandable.
You just got to beat it up and say arrivederci to
That's right.
it. Honestly, that's how I did it.
So in total, you've made, what, 20, 30 cosplays?
40.
50, 60?
Oh my God. I mean, thinking back, like I've taken like long hiatuses because of college and stuff like that, so I can't even count like back then, but
You've lost count,
yeah,
in a way.
basically. I mean, the things that I can remember that were not from like when I was a kid, Jotaro, Kakyoin. See, I don't even know.
So the list could go on.
Yeah. So I think I've done at least 10, maybe, since September last year, September, when I got back into this. So 10 in a year.
Wow.
So, yeah. But that's just because I've been working like absolute manically.
But still, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Just doing 10.
10 a year, my goodness.
We
that's-
definitely can't knock you on that. Like that's
Yeah. I can't.
the amount of work you put into it is so awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, everybody says that I work really fast, and I think sometimes I work too fast.
I guess it's because you just want to see it done, or
Yeah.
you want to get to the end of it and be like,
I guess.
That determination.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the process as well, but like, yeah, I do that sometimes for sure, and it's probably not good because I feel like things do get rushed. So they're like for us, I definitely tried to slow down just because it was for competition purposes. So, yeah.
so what's been the feedback been for you ever since you've gotten into cosplay and you're doing it a lot more often, and you're seeing your I would say your following continuously keep growing and growing? Like, how's that been for you?
It's been good. I'm trying to think what. I don't know. Since I've been back into it, it's been since I moved to Florida, so it's been kind of two things overlapping. I've like made so many good friends here, honestly, just in the community. So that's been a really good experience for me because like I've done cosplay in the past, but wasn't super active on social media, and I lived in places that didn't have as much of a scene as we do here in South Florida.
Right.
So basically those two overlapping has made things really a good experience for me.
Right. And earlier we kind of joked before we started the podcast, we kind of joked that you're official when you have Sims.
Yes. I've had one myself. It was kind of awkward.
What's that experience been like?
I joke. I really don't have simps, you guys. It's a lie.
Oh, wow. And I'm being semi-serious. I'm sorry.
No. No.
People DMing me sometimes. It's weird.
Oh my God.
Because on
I
your
don't
stories,
even-
we do see some of your, some outlandish DMs that you'll get. Be like,
Also the fan page.
yeah.
The fan page.
Yeah, you have a fan page too.
Don't think we didn't forget about this.
Yeah,
Okay. The things that you're talking about were probably things that were on my close friends.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's okay.
That's hilarious.
What were some of the things that people said lately? On my Jotaro post, somebody said, like, please beat me up or something like that. I think, yes.
Order me up.
I was like, ha ha ha. And he's like, I'm serious. It's my fetish. And I'm like, okay, that's nice.
Yada yada does it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just basically things like that.
That's hilarious.
I have a feeling it's just gonna keep
I
growing and
don't
growing.
know.
But hey, it makes for good content, good entertainment.
Yeah,
entertaining
exactly.
content.
I'd feel bad if like anyone commented on your Hisoka. Like, there are so many things people could pull off. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Square me up like Dentine Ice right now. Hubba bubba.
Oh no!
I'm sorry for those who
please
follow
no
her.
weird puns. I swear to God.
We're gonna be in a sticky situation right now.
See,
I'm trying to think the other weird talent demo that somebody sent me the other day. That was funny too. I think making that was a mistake.
What, the Hisoka costume?
Please, no, it was like somebody posted something on my talent name. I don't even know what it was in response to, but it's like, I want you to crack my neck with your bicep. I think that's what somebody said. I'm like, wow, who dis?
Oh my god! Like,
But, I don't know.
holy smokes! Man, I love those memes you do with goth IHOP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then the femboy hooter.
Yeah.
I died.
You're just not.
Yeah.
I freaking died, and I loved it.
Yeah, that was funny. So those are like good, stupid shenanigans to get into between cosplays to keep
Right.
people engaged. Because it
Right.
didn't actually require a lot of making.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy comments, and I'm just like, wow. Wow.
I know. I know.
And you're just probably looking at it like, where do I find these people?
Like, who
How do
Where
I
are they
find-
finding me?
like,
Yeah,
who are you?
exactly.
Where are they finding me?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, the fan page. That happened right in the middle of when I was trying to do the Crunchyroll stuff. And I was just like, wow, this is a distraction that I do not need because it popped up. It popped up following me, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's
Oh
weird.
my God.
And I posted something really aggressive on my story. It was like, whoever this is, I'm going to find you and kill you, or jokingly, you know? And I was like,
The Liam Neeson reference is what does it justice for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, that's strange because I really thought it was somebody that was messing with me. So I messaged the most probable suspects, and I'm like, so did you do this? You need to take it down right now. And everybody swears up and down they didn't do it. And see, like, somebody last night was saying, like, oh, I thought that was you and Zalecki, my best friend, like, teasing each other. Because the
Right.
very next day, one popped up for her, too.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wait,
Oh
And
my
I'm
god.
like, no, it honestly wasn't. We still to this day, really don't know who it is.
That's
I'm trying to
mysterious.
think what all else happened with that. Yeah, but they took my sticker, my Kakyoan sticker that Zalecki drew for me, and I was like, where did they find that? 'Cause I don't think it was on my page, but I think they scrolled way down Zalecki's page because
took a
somehow
little screenshot
somehow
and,
they
like, boom.
figured out that we're best friends, and somehow made that connection and went and got the art that she did for me off of her page and then made it the icon.
That's
And I'm like,
strange.
wow, that is kind of weird, and it really
Yeah.
made me think that it was somebody that we knew. But then I don't think that it was. And I think that the most, see, I'm like showing my cards here, but like, I think that the most probable suspect right now is somebody that runs a Crollo fan page. I really think that it is. It's this girl that runs a role play page that I don't know super well.
Oh dear.
But I talked to her like one time, and she said like super nice things about my cosplays and stuff. And I know she makes fan pages for people, so I'm just like,
I'm waiting for mine.
Yeah.
why? Like they didn't even post anything.
It's just pure
But
boredom I'm waiting for.
They did post to their story on my birthday, and it was super nice, and I screenshotted it. And it was my Inosuke cosplay, and they're like, this is the first photo that I ever saw of you, or
Aw.
something. And it was honestly just so inspiring to me, something. And it's just honestly been so inspiring for me to see the work that you put in and how happy this makes you, or something like that. And I'm
That's so
like,
sweet.
and I just want to wish you a really happy birthday, and I hope you have a great day. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, now I feel really bad for posting aggressive things in my story about this fan page. And I'm like,
Well, I
Yeah. Yeah.
the fan page will still exist.
Yeah, it still goes through my feed every once in a while and likes the things.
is there
that I
any
post
followers
over
on
the
it,
last
or-
week. Listen, there's people following my fan page that are not even following me, which is highly
That's
upsetting.
disrespectful.
It's highly upsetting.
No, that's a weird flex.
Yeah. Some of my followers like went and followed her. My mutuals anyway went and followed that page, and I'm like, why y'all?
Yeah.
Why?
Why
They're
be-
not even
why be-
posting anything.
why be like this?
Exactly.
You know, now
Go to the source.
somebody's gonna see the person that's running it is gonna see this and start posting probably. So like,
And the next thing you know, it's gonna add like more like, oh yeah, this is Vivichibi doing Inosuke at this place with this.
oh, that's
photographer.
gonna be so uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Please.
We just
So
opened
now I'm
up a
just like,
can of
maybe
worms.
maybe they shouldn't do that.
There's gonna be a can of worms that's unintended, but this will be fun. Entertainment for us,
Yeah,
at
and I
least.
don't want to call out the person that I think is doing it because honestly, it's kind of nice. At first, I thought it was creepy, but I think it's done out of a good place.
Aw,
Right.
That's
so
really
like,
good.
I don't want to ask.
But I feel like it's just gonna be reposting pictures eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they're not posting anything right now,
That's
so
just
I'm
weird.
just gonna leave
That's
it.
just still gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm just gonna leave it. I don't know.
Like you can exist.
Yeah.
before you just get snapped at.
Definitely. With all of the cosplays that you have done, all the different unique characters, I want to touch up on anime. I want to touch up on that.
Okay, this is something we can all follow up on.
Out
You know.
of all the animes that you have seen, which are your three?
Oh my God. See, I don't like
'Cause I
I don't
already-
like naming top 3 of anything because I feel like
Should we do genres to be specific, or to make it easier on you?
Okay, give us 5. 5, but in any order.
That like really spark your interest, that motivated you to cosplay.
Because you're wearing one of them on your shirt.
of course, yeah, I was definitely going to say Dr. Stone. Y'all know that.
Got that Senku drip.
Exactly.
Demon Slayer,
2,
Hunter x Hunter right now.
3.
And then I'm thinking about things that like I've been into like forever, like Dragon Ball Z.
Hey,
And then 5, I don't even know.
I feel like if you don't say JoJo's, it's just gonna throw off a lot of
Shit,
people.
Yes. Okay. How could I forget?
I don't know. How could you? I'm glad.
JJBA.
I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I would have been upset if I wouldn't have included them in the 5. So that's why I don't like ranking or naming my top anything. So I like everything. It's
'Cause
like
I-
I don't want to rank anything.
Because I can say 90% of
Those
our
are in
guests
no
love
particular
JoJo.
order.
90%.
Yeah.
There's only that
of
1% that
course.
hasn't watched it.
It's always been that 1% that never watches it.
I know.
I feel like I've seen more than 1% lately saying like, "Whoa, I don't know why everybody likes this so much."
Exactly.
Whatever. I don't know.
I always say that's because, the main character isn't protected by any kind of plot armor, power of friendship kind of ordeal compared to all the other animes.
Yeah, everybody just dies.
Just a band of weirdos to
Yeah.
just die.
Yeah. Like, nobody is safe.
Then people just question the clothing. I'm like, who cares about the clothing? Everyone's throwing hands right now. Why would you question this? Especially Jonathan Joestar out of all the characters, or Joseph.
They were questioning the clothing.
Yeah, like how he had
What
the
is
crop,
it?
how he had the crop top and everything.
Okay.
Or how
That's
Joseph.
mild. I feel like that's mild.
I
for
know. Then like
JoJo.
there's Joseph,
Yeah.
and then there's Joseph. How overdramatic he is, and like people will question that. I never did. I just rolled with it at this point. Because some
Yeah.
people don't even watch it after part 2. I'm
I
like,
guess you just get so used to it. It's like, wow, this is not weird at all anymore.
this is just
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
If it's written in the manga, this should be fine.
Then there's like part 5 with like straight up boob windows and stuff. So it's like crop tops are mild.
Vendors
you
no
know?
dansha.
Like,
Giorno Giovanna.
like part 1 and 2 and 3, very manly. Part 4, okay, it's getting less manly. And then part 5 is just like, well, all right.
6? We know how 6 is going to be, and we're going to go for it.
Yeah. Manliness is gone in part 5, but you know what? Hey, I'm with it. I'm here for
I think
it.
everybody's still pretty manly. It's just not the outfits are not manly.
Yeah,
Yeah, the outfits are not
because
good.
like Josuke is the only one that's like slim build, but still tall as a Joestar.
Yeah.
Vendor's Giorno, who's like somewhat average height.
I could I still need to catch up on some.
Then there's like
anime.
what Koichi, who's like 5'1", but comes up to like Jotaro's knee or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It makes so much sense.
yeah, it's just so weird.
The height difference is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And you look up the canon heights, and it's like, wow, it makes no sense at all.
The disrespect
like for
they
the
did.
proportions.
The disrespect and the references they all get. I think this is why I appreciate JoJo with all the references you can throw in there. Especially with Koichi looking like a Super Saiyan.
Right.
Now, I do want to ask if anyone were to get into some of the anime that you're interested in. Like, for instance, since I've been watching any anime, I completely finished all of the Demon Slayer manga. Like, I know what happens at the end. You don't have
Right.
to tell me.
Don't you dare tell me.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not caught up either.
Like, I'm
Yay.
done.
Manga,
So
yeah.
now I want to dive into another anime, and there's a bunch. There's just so much. Usually, I don't have like the time to just sit down and just like actually watch an episode. I'll read through a manga because I can just burn through 10 chapters within an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'm looking at, of course, Dr. Stone is one.
What is the question?
Which anime that I should get into next? Because I know Dr. Stone is one, Fire Force is second, Black Clover is third.
I'm thinking about getting to God of High School or
And
Kami
those,
no
those
To.
are the three that just stands out in my mind. Because Demon Slayer, I'm like, okay, I'm done with them. So it's Dr. Stone, Black Clover, and Fire Force, where I'm currently at. And I'm like, which one should I start? Which one do you feel like is shorter for me to get into?
Okay, Black Clover might be a while.
That's
That's going to be a while.
we can exclude that. That's
Okay.
gonna take. That's so many episodes and so
I
many.
mean, it's not like
chapters,
a
it will
One
take
Piece,
5
but at least I
No,
know.
it's long though.
Like, are we talking about 1,800 episodes long?
No, not that long.
Because
Okay.
that's
that
One Piece
long.
in a nutshell.
But it's been on for a while, so
I'm caught up on One Piece, so.
I mean, it's a good
I debate if I
time.
want to watch it again.
I'm probably biased, but it's a good time to get into Dr. Stone because season 2 is coming in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Confirmed.
So Dr. Stone, yeah.
So that's good, and there's only like what 24 or 26 episodes out.
Wait, seriously?
I think, yeah.
I never knew this.
What part?
About
The new
Dr. Stone,
season?
I didn't know they had 26 episodes.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
so.
I could get into that.
I think
Okay.
there's 26 episodes.
I've been yelled at by
Something like
multiple people to watch it, and I just keep procrastinating.
No, it's really good.
Fine.
It's different
I like
from like
different.
standard shonen. It's
Oh.
like, there's a lot of copy and paste shonen out there, so
Yeah,
Generic power up. I'm gonna beat you.
power,
Ends up getting
friendship
killed or
kind of
beating
things,
you.
which I mean it has some of that too, but not like that.
Yeah, I like different. Just it stands out, and it's like it's more interesting compared to as you said, all the other shonen, which is just copy and paste. It's like okay, this is all right. We already know the whole cliche stuff, so
It's
And I
just-
think the manga's out to like 160 or somewhere around
Oh my
there.
gosh.
oh okay, I can.
Yeah, so
I
it's
can
it's
definitely
not
get into it.
It's not too far.
wild. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Dr. Stone it is. I'll get in.
I know.
Awesome.
I know. I gotta find a way so we can both stream at the same time.
Yeah, I want to do something like that. Do watch parties or something.
Like Netflix party is a thing, but there's not much anime, like good anime on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the best platform to do something like that. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
Zoom?
Really?
Screen
We
share,
already do Zoom stuff, so.
screen share technically,
Yeah.
or Discord.
Yeah, that too. Discord as well.
Cool.
Where it's just private. It's just it's gonna be private, and then only a select few people can get in and just we all
No
watch together.
weirdos.
Yeah.
And then once it's done and over with, then everyone can talk about it and discuss.
Oh my
what
God,
you
we
like,
gotta
what
do
you
that. That
dislike.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's not a bad idea.
I want to
make
do
some
that because,
content.
yeah, I need to watch anime, and it's like I have a hard time setting time aside. So it's like if I schedule, like, okay, we're all going to watch this between whenever and whenever, then I'll actually do it.
The weird thing about me is I got to get into the intro or the theme first, or like the theme song before I actually get into the anime.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
skipping the intro.
because I got because like I never skipped for part 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I sang "Fighting Gold" or "Bloody Stream." I might not know too much Japanese,
No, those are good.
but I know "Bloody Stream" like my. There's an anime called "Love Is Hard for an Otaku," like so it's like a slice of. Wait, you know about it?
I think, is that the one where they're in the office or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love that
it's
intro.
so relatable.
It is.
That's like the most relatable show.
I got talked into watching it.
My friend got me to watch it.
It's
She's
so
like, "This is
cute.
your life." The one girl that's like that crossplays.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It is like
That's-
everyone's just a nerd outside the office, and then there's this one guy who just games hardcore, and he lets his little brother play, gets his
under
butt
his
kicked, and he
table.
just jumps in.
Yeah, that's a good show.
I want a
It's really
second
good.
season so bad. That's the only slice of life I'll ever watch.
Yeah,
That and
because everybody's like older on it. Everybody's like late 20s or something.
yeah,
so
it's relatable for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. Then there's a Gretzko.
Yeah, that's great too.
It is so adorable.
Yeah,
I can't watch much anime dub, not even that one, but
true.
I tried. I couldn't.
Yeah, I can't even watch anime dubbed anymore. I think the only ones is just pretty much Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Classics.
yeah, like the 90s and 90s anime, I can watch them.
Like
dubbed.
Naruto, I
Yeah,
can watch
because that
dub.
stuff is like so ingrained in your head. Those
Yeah.
voices, like I don't know if I could handle.
But past that, it's like, it's up.
Yeah,
Because-
that makes sense.
Because the voice acting is, voice acting is just a lot better, especially when it
It
comes
is.
to emotions.
Meeting Matthew Mercer was interesting because I wouldn't
Because
expect him
when
as
you hear it
Jotaro.
in dub, and they're trying to, do the same emotions, it's just like, it's not hitting it for me.
Like hearing Dio from Part 3 dub just feels
yeah,
uncomfortable.
it just
really,
feels,
I don't know if I've actually seen that dub.
it feels
so it's probably
uncomfortable
cringe.
I'm just like,
because you're used to that
I'm
weird,
not-
that like
I'm
deep
not-
dramatic pitch.
I'm just like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not.
Yeah, it's always unsettling. Like when you do watch the sub and then you change to dub and you hear somebody's
It's
voice that
true.
is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, why?
Like the only animes I can accept are like the classic Dragon Balls. Even Seven Deadly Sins, I can accept dub. I got used to it. Then there's a series called Cannon Busters.
Oh, I started watching that. That's pretty good.
I liked
actually.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like Cowboy Bebop, but with post-apocalyptic.
Interesting.
Like it's a
Yeah,
wasteland
it was funny
full of
too.
cowboys.
I liked it.
It reminds me of Spike in a way.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so before we close out the podcast in this episode, I have one final question that I want to ask
Uh-oh.
Vivian. If you had the budget, like blank check, what game would like to create of any anime universe? It could be anything, any genre. Like you have a blank check
I'm trying to think what is.
because there is going to be a Demon Slayer game that's going to be.
I
coming soon.
heard.
It's in development, but
Yeah, I did hear that. And there's was it the mobile game or is there
No,
another
an
one? 'Cause there's a
actual-
mobile game too.
oh, a mobile game. Okay.
Too many mobile games.
No,
Yeah, too
yeah,
bad.
I'm definitely not going to play it, but I know that that's a thing.
Because I know there's going to be a Demon Slayer game, and I think the people who are developing it are the same ones that did Naruto Storm.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. If there's not much DLC.
Which I think there will be, or they'll just break it up in iterations where you'll have the season one all the way up until they get into
The train.
the Infinity Train arc, or maybe they'll go a little bit past that, and they'll just have like maybe iterations of here's this one. This
As long
one.
as it's not like Attack on Titan, because I heard they added they mixed up part 1 and 2 and added a little bit of 3 that didn't make sense. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comments.
But yeah. What game-
I'm
Okay,
sitting
no.
here thinking, and everybody's like probably really annoyed 'cause it's all I ever talk about. But like, we were talking about Harvest Moon, but what if like a Dr.
Yes.
Stone
Ooh.
game that's like that? Because honestly, it's all about rebuilding civilization.
Right.
So
that'd be good.
what
I
if
think I
something
see what
like
you're on
that?
about.
That wouldn't be like extremely generic as
So-
some of the shonen
Yeah.
games that are out that kind of suck.
I see what you're saying. So you're trying to make it like an exploration where you find the
Maybe.
resources and the
Yeah.
chemicals and compound elements to make it into like a certain craft or event. I know briefly about the series.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
That's not a bad idea. Where it's just, you're.
I just don't think it would ever be popular enough that it would happen.
So it's like Animal Crossing.
Maybe, but again,
It'll-
with more
it'll appeal to
structure
I'm
than
sorry.
Animal Crossing.
I'm sorry.
It'll appeal to a niche
I had to say it.
audience. It'll appeal to a
Exactly.
niche audience, but I know people
I mean, it kind of
are-
already does though, so it'd be double niche.
Yeah.
But would it fit into a JRPG category? Because if it fits in a
It
JRPG, yeah.
Combat scenarios here and there.
It could be done like Stardew Valley or something like that.
Okay.
That
That'd
has
be
a
cool if
little
it
bit
could be a
of
little bit
both.
turn-based as well.
Yeah.
I'm always into
I
turn-based.
mean, that could be a stretch because nobody hardly fights. There's a couple people, but like maybe.
Just like a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Instead of most anime games are just mostly beat 'em ups, brawlers, and whatnot. You hardly ever have one where it's just, as you
Something, yeah.
Peaceful.
Different.
Mellow.
mentioned. Definitely. Well, I believe, with everything that we've talked and discussed about, is there any final words you guys want to put out? Waluigi, Vivian?
You know what? Did I miss the anime dad joke?
Oh my god.
You said you were going to leave
Yes,
with that, and I've been
yes.
sitting here this whole time.
Yes, I
like,
know.
when is
I'm
that
waiting
gonna
towards the
happen?
closing. I was waiting until the closing.
Okay.
But first,
So there we go.
Vivian, it's an honor having you here. You're definitely an inspiration to many cosplayers, especially to me as well.
Aw.
Like, your sewing game makes me want to grab a sewing machine and just start learning.
Oh,
Also, for the dad joke, what's a good way someone could say goodbye in Black Clover? Hasta la vista.
that's worse than the Asta pasta. I think
Hasta la vista, baby.
that's good.
You got
That's
another?
definitely anime dad joke.
You got another?
I don't think I have any more. That's the only one I thought about all morning.
Oh, man.
That's great.
Alright. Any final words?
I don't think so. Just thank you so much for having me on. It was a great time.
Man, thank you.
you.
We definitely appreciate it.
Alright. Well, guys, with that being said, this is episode 12 of the South Florida Gamers podcast. And you can find the audio version of this podcast on. Oh God, I just had a brain fart. I just had a brain fart.
Hasta la vista to your brain.
What, Castbox? Where? I'm like, where do y'all have it on? I will
Okay.
answer for
All
you.
right. It's available on SoundCloud, iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, and
There you
Google
go.
Podcasts. The video playback will also be available on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch if you guys want to, rewatch the podcast again. And thank you for Vivian for coming on out and
Thanks so
being
much.
our
Of course.
guest. And we can't wait to have you back on again later in the future.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right. And with that being said, this is episode 12